All right, pi, what is it and why do we care about it? So if you know anything about pi, you might know what a lot of people say it's about equal to. And they say it's about equal to 3.14, when in reality it's 14159, da 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 da. It goes on forever. And not only that, you can't write it as a fraction, which is another way of saying it's irrational. But more than that, it's even a special kind of rational number called transcendental. This means it can't be written as a fraction, right? And this means it can't be expressed algebraically. So there's really no way to just predict every number about pi and what it is. Sorry, I guess I got to keep the menu on there so I can scroll down. That being said, what is it and why do we care about it? Well, you might know, if you know, you might have seen it a little bit dealing with circles, and that's exactly true. That's where it came from. That's why we care about it. That's where it started. A lot of things in life have to do with circles. Just the fact that you go to school, go to sleep, wake up and start all over again and keep doing that, or your week runs in cycles, is something that goes in a circular pattern, right? The seasons, the years, all this stuff. So pi, in a weird way, is related to all those things. But how is the question? Well, let's look at this geometrically, okay? If I wanted to measure a circle, what would I measure? Well, I could measure the distance around it, right? And we can call that its circumference, right? That's the distance around, right? And I could also measure, I can measure the distance across it. I could take a point right here, and here's its center point, and here's another point on the opposite side, and I can measure distance going right from one point through the center point, and it's going to end up on a point on the other side, right? That has a special name too. That's called its diameter, right? So that's d. We call that d. So the distance around it, all the way around it, we call that c, its circumference. So the diameter is the distance across. I think I may have spelled that wrong. All right, so where does pi come in? Well, all pi is a ratio. It's a ratio of the circumference to the diameter. How much bigger is the circumference than the diameter? Well, the circumference is 3.14 some odd times bigger than the diameter. No matter how big the circle's this big, assuming I drew the right circle, this distance across it times pi, right, is going to give me the circumference every single time. Another way to say that is the circumference divided by the diameter is pi. No matter what circle you draw, if you measure the distance around it and you measure the distance across it and you divide them, you put them in a ratio like this or like this, you're going to get pi. And that's where pi comes from. Every circle is related to the number pi.